Hi guys, I am back for our last YouTube video of the week because tomorrow you have a test and Friday we'll get together on a live Zoom call. So today we're going to be on page 255 to 256 and go ahead and have your books ready and a scratch piece of paper and let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Keep those little gifts there for you so you can see them. But it's super cute, this little penguin. It says, don't give up on your dreams. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Work hard for don't give up. You guys are doing a great job. Don't give up. Keep working hard, okay? Even when it seems tough, call me. We'll go over it together. I'm more than happy to work on these with you guys. So let's go to 1. It's a review day again because tomorrow's a test. So no lesson. We're just going to jump right into the review. Number 1, solve and check. Let's work on these equations. I have x over 5 equals 7 minus 4. What do I do first? Move that. I do 7 minus 4 first. Good. 7 minus 4 is 3. So my new problem is x over 5 equals 3. Now I have divided by 5. How do I isolate x? Opposite of division is multiplication. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's multiply both sides of this equation by 5. These cancel, 5 over 5 cancels, and I'm left with x equals 3 times 5, which is 15. Now we've got to check. I'm going to plug 15 in to where the x was. 15 over 5 equals 7 minus 4. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 7 minus 4 is 3. We are good. X does equal 15. Second one. Now this is a little different. This incorporates a little bit of PEMDAS, is what we've been doing as well. So we're going to do the 3 squared first. 3 squared is 9. So I have y plus 6 equals 9. I'm adding 6. How do I get y by itself? How do I isolate y? Subtract 6 from both sides of the equation. And I get these cancel. I'm left with y equals 9 minus 6, which is 3. We're going to check. So we're going to plug that 3 into y. 3 plus 6 equals 3 squared. 9 equals 9. Excellent job. We did it. We are awesome. We are doing this. Let's move on. Letter C, I have 6b equals 11 plus 7. First we do 11 plus 7, which is 18. 6b equals 18. Now I'm multiplying by 6, and I want to get b by itself. I want to isolate b, so I need to divide by 6, both sides of the equation. And 6 over 6 cancels to 1, and I'm left with b equals 18 over 6, which is 3. Let's check. Plugging that 3 into b. 6 times 3 equals 11 plus 7. 18 equals 18. We are good. We are good to go. Letter D. I'm just moving right along because you guys are awesome and we're working on them together. First thing, we have r minus 4 equals 32 over 8. One moment. 32 over 8. Am I going to add 4 first? Or am I going to do 32 over 8 first? If you said 32 over 8, awesome. 32 divided by 8 is 4. My updated equation is r minus 4 equals 4. Now I want to get r by itself. I want to isolate it. So that means I need to move r. I mean, it's because I need to move the minus 4 over to the other side of the equation. What's the opposite of minus 4? Plus 4. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides of this equation, both sides of the equal sign. Minus 4 plus 4 cancels out, and I'm left with r equals 4 plus 4, which is 8. Let's check. We're going to plug this in. 8 minus 4 equals 32 over 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. 32 over 8 is 4, and we are good. R does equal 8. Okay, you know what I'm going to say. Please pause. Do the next 4 together, or do the next 4 on your own. Actually, no, I'm wrong. Let's do a couple of these PEMDAS together, and then I'm going to have you guys do a couple of them. So letter 2, or number 2, is PEMDAS. We're going to do PEMDAS. When we do PEMDAS, we do parentheses first, then exponents, then multiply and divide in the order they appear, then add and subtract in the order they appear. Let's do A and B together, then I'll have you try C and D on your own. A, I have 3 plus 6 squared times 5. If I'm using PEMDAS, what operation am I going to use first? I'm going to do the exponents first. 6 times 2, or excuse me, 6 squared, 6 times 6. What is 6 times 6? 36. So I'm going to rewrite it. I like to call it an updated equation because it works a little better that way. It's not necessarily new, it's just updated. So we have 3 plus 36 times 5. What's next? 36 times 5. I have to do multiplying before I do adding. Now 36 times 5 I don't have memorized, so I come over here. 6 times 5 is 30, 3 times 5 is 15, plus 3 is 18, so it's 180. So I have 3 plus 180, and that's pretty simple, 183. Awesome, let's move to B. Pause if you're confused and go back and go through the problem with me again, okay? Letter B, I have 5 times 9 minus 7 squared. Now this is a little bit of a tricky one, but if we're following PEMDAS, we know that we have to do what's in the parentheses first, okay? And what's in these parentheses? 9 minus 7. What is 9 minus 7? 2. So I have 5 times 2 squared. What is next? Am I going to multiply first or am I going to do exponents first? Exponents, right? Remember we did this first, then we're going to do exponents. So 2 squared is 4. 5 times 4, excuse me, 5, yes, 5 times 4. What is 5 times 4? 20. Awesome. Pause, do C and D, and come back and check it with me. Okay, check yours with mine. With letter C, we kind of had 2 groups of multiplying here, so I just go ahead and multiplied them and then added them together. And then on letter D, we have to do division before we multiply. So 4 plus 5 times 2, 4 plus 10, which is 14. Let's move on. Letter 3, it says find the perimeter or circumference. Last night, this was part of your homework, but we're going to do these together. First thing, we're going to draw these shapes. So letter A, I have a rectangle, and my length is 4 and 3/8 feet. And my width, or our width, is 3 and 3/4 feet. What is the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle? P equals 2L plus 2W. So now we'll just plug in what we have. P equals 2 times 4 and 3/8 plus 2 times 3 and 3/4. Now, the easiest way to do these is to change the 4 and 3/8. You could change them to decimals if you wanted to and multiply. What I want to try today is to change them to an improper fraction and multiply that way. So in order to change 4 and 3/8 to an improper fraction, we do a backwards C. So perimeter equals 2, I'm going to do 2 over 1 because we're multiplying, times 8 times 4, which is 32, and 32 plus 3, which is 35. So 35 over 8. So I got 35 over 8 by doing a backwards C, okay? Plus 2 over 1 times, let's do backwards C here too. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15, 15 over 4. So we're going to take these 2 parts, multiply them, and then add them together. Can I cancel? I can cancel in the first one. 8 and 2 share a common factor of 2. So I'm left with 35 over 4 plus, you know what, to make this a little easier, I'm not going to cancel because it's going to be over 4. So 2 times 15 is 30 over 4. And I did that so I didn't have to make it common, an equivalent fraction because it's already there. Okay, so I have 30 plus 4 over 35 plus 4, which is 65 over 4. Now, can I leave it like that? No, we need to divide and come up with our answer. So we're going to do 65 over 4. And guys, I highly recommend, you probably already started on the paper because I did, but I highly recommend that you use a scratch piece of paper to do these, okay? So for the next ones, let's use scratch paper. 4 goes into 6 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down my 5. 4 into 25 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24 with 1 left over. So it becomes 1/4. So my answer is 16 1/4. And it's 16 1/4 what? I'm going to go ahead and erase this because I have to have room here. 16 1/4 feet. Good. And because it's perimeter, we don't need to square. 16 1/4 feet. Now, if you're multiplying with decimals, you would get 16.25 feet. Okay. Letter B. Let's look at it. We have a circle, and we're going to label it. Our radius of this circle is, if my iPad is going to like me, there we go. Our radius is 7.5 meters, and we're finding the perimeter. What? How do we find perimeter of a circle? Circumference. We're going to use circumference, right? Circumference equals 2 pi r. Now, I could use pi d, but I don't have d. I don't have diameter. I have radius. So I'm going to use 2 pi r. Circumference equals 2 times 3.14 times 7.5. We could multiply 3.14 times 2 and multiply by 7.5. So that would be 6.8 times 7.5. We could do 2 times 7.5, which is 15, and multiply by 3.14. I think I'm going to go that route. So I'm going to do 3.14 times 15. Now, guys, it doesn't matter which route you use, whatever you do, because you should get the same exact answer if you've multiplied correctly. And I know some of you are thinking, what is 7.5 times 2? 5 times 2 is 10. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 1 is 15, and your answer is 15. Okay, so let's multiply to figure out what our circumference is. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7, and 5 times 3 is 15. I get a 4, a 1, and a 3 because it's just multiplying by 1. When I bring down, we get 47.1 because we don't need that 0 on the end. So circumference equals 47.1 meters. They kind of try to trick us, right? Perimeter is actually circumference. Letter C. Actually, do letter C. Pause and do letter C and come back to see what you get. Okay, so if you're finding the perimeter of a square, the formula is P equals 4S, and we get 4 times 241, which is 964. Now this next section, my iPad's turned off. This next section is to find the area. So just like we've done with perimeter, we're going to do the same thing with area. We're going to draw a circle. And we're in this case, the circle is a diameter. So we're going to go through the center of that circle. And the diameter equals 10 feet. So what is the formula for the area of a circle? Area equals pi r squared. But wait, we have radius. Diameter. How are we going to find radius? Divide by 2. Because to find a radius from a diameter, you just divide by 2. What is the diameter? If the radius is, what is the radius? If the diameter is 10, what's your radius? 5. So your radius equals 5. So let's plug that 5 in. Area equals 3.14 times 5 squared. Area equals 3.14 times 25. So 3.14 times 25. 5 times 4 is 20. 1 times 5 is 5 plus 2 is 7. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 times 3 is 6. Then we add 1, 8, 8. And we get area equals 88.5 what? Square feet. Awesome. Let's take a look at B and C. For letter B, you have a parallelogram. Remember yesterday I kind of figured out that you could draw these parallelograms. It's so cool and they'll stay there. Doesn't look quite like one, but it's okay. We're going to go with it. And then for this parallelogram, we have our base is 23.4 centimeters and our height is 17.8 centimeters. What is the formula to find the area of a parallelogram? Area equals base times height. So we're just going to multiply 23.4 times 17.8. And then let's look at letter C. We have a triangle. Awesome. And we have a base on this triangle of 178 feet and a height of 95 feet. What is the formula for the area of a triangle? Area equals 1/2 times base times height. So you're going to take those two formulas, plug in those statistics that they've given you or the numbers that they've given you and figure out what your answer is and come back. Okay, let's look at B and C. For B, you should have gotten 416.52 square centimeters and C, 8,455 square feet. Now let's move on to, I think we're going to go ahead and skip over 5. I'd like to look at 6A, actually 6B. Let's look at 6B. That's where our little picture guy is from, is 6B. It says Marcus paid $12 for a basketball. That was 25% off. What was the regular price of the ball? Okay. So $12, it was 25% off, so that's my sale price already. We want to know what the regular price is of the ball. So this problem takes a little bit of thinking. We've $12, we have it's 25% off already. That's our sale price. Really what we're going to ask ourselves is $12 is 75% of what number? Now, some of you guys are thinking, well, how did she come up with that 75%? Well, if it's 25% off, that means we've paid 75%. So the $12 is 75% of whatever the regular price was, and that what number is the regular price. Now, to solve for that, we haven't done this in a little while, so let's think about it. To solve for that, we're going to take our percentage, our part, and divide by our percent written as a decimal. So let's look here. We have 12 divided by 0.75 because that's our decimal, or that's our percent. We wrote it as a decimal. And can we divide now? Not yet. We can't divide with decimals. So what are we going to do? Move our decimal over, which means we move it over in the dividend. And now we have 1,200 divided by 75. I'm going to come over here and do it. You should have a scratch piece of paper. 75 into 1 doesn't go. 75 into 12 doesn't go. 75 into 120. Well, I know 2 75s would be 150, so that's too much, right? So it's going to be one time. We're going to subtract. 10 minus 5 is 5. 11 minus 7 is 4, and bring down my 0. 75 into 450. Think about it for a second. We can count up by 75. 75, 150, 225, 300. But how many times do you think? 6 times. Good. 6 times. So that's our answer. $12 is 75% of $16. That basketball was originally $16. Okay. Now I want to look. So I'm going to go ahead and give you your assignment for tonight. Your test tomorrow is going to look very, very similar to the problems that I've been assigning for this week. So if we've gone over them or if I'm assigned them, 100% can be on the test, okay? If it's something we have not gone over, don't worry about it. That's not going to be on your test. I am taking the questions, or I'm looking at the questions from what we've gone over this week. All the review, all the homework is all fair game, okay? So if you have a question, contact me because I want to go over it with you so that way you feel prepared for the test. And guys, Sometimes we hear the word test and we freak out. You don't need to. You're going to do great, and we're going to work through this together, and you guys are going to be awesome, okay? You're all doing such an amazing job, and I'm so proud of all the hard work and effort that you're putting in. So tonight, your assignment, it's 8A, B, C, which does go in evenly, D, I know you know how to add, F, H, let's do G as well, I, J, and let's go ahead and do K. Now remember, K is what percent? Funky Rabbit Dance Party. Okay, letter H, you need to find a common denominator first. A common denominator. Letter G, do you have to have a common denominator? You sure do. You got to have a common denominator for this guy too. Let's say you forgot how to do common denominators. Call me, contact me, email me, do something. I will get with you and I'll work with you on it, okay? Letter F, keep, change, flip in order to work that problem out. Letter C, what do you have to do? Move your decimal first. Okay, I'm not giving you answers, guys. This is all stuff that I know you know. We're just going over it together, okay? And then letter A, make sure you annex those zeros first. Do this assignment, work on it, then go into Google Classroom and put it in. Tomorrow, you will not have a video. Tomorrow, you will not have a video. I'll say it one more time. Tomorrow, you will not have a video. Tomorrow, you will go in and you will take the assessment or the test on Google Classroom, just like you've been putting in for your homework. So thanks, guys. You've done great, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.